Reddit's a very important platform, and I haven't mentioned it yet, but they're arguably the most important platform because it was Google's way of trying to push raw, authentic human content up in search results in an era full of AI garbage. And so it's very important that you get your brand on Reddit now, because it goes back to those brand mentions that I mentioned in the Arabs analysis earlier, but this is contributing to that overall goal. So I discovered the Reddit marketing playbook by accident because one month I had a particularly good month at that time, and I just felt like giving back. So on a whim, I created an AMA thread on Reddit on r/SaaS, and it ended up going viral, and I learned a lot of gold nuggets from that on what Reddit marketing looks like. And I'm just going to take you guys through that right now. Actually, I'm just going to share it live. I'm going to break it down on what I did right, and you guys are going to learn right from practice, not just theory. So I'm going to share my screen, and then we'll go from there. Thread did so well, and this is actually supporting my point here. When I say Google is ranking Reddit a lot higher, I, as an agency, haven't done much SEO effort just because my lead flow from LinkedIn, Twitter, referrals, and cold outreach has been great. But the power of like Reddit now is going to be apparent from what I'm about to show you. So if you look up B2B SaaS SEO right now, right? That's what I do, right? That's my main function at the agency. That's what we do for our clients. Okay, so there's a sponsored ad, there's the AI overview, whatnot. I'm literally right here. This is me. And I don't, again, no SEO actual effort going on for my website. And this is completely unrelated, of course, because this is a Reddit thread. So my website's not even related, but this is being ranked high. And there's a reason for this, because even though this is a Reddit thread, it's superbly helpful. At least that's what people say. It's raw, it's authentic, it's not AI generated. It just can't be because, okay, I mean, let's just break down the post. I'm just literally just sharing my story on how I niche down the agency. I'm revealing myself authentically, okay? Look at the stats of this. If we go to see more insights, this is doing wonders, right? So I'm just adding value. I'm just replying to people. I'm helping first. That's the core principle I'm approaching this with. I had this help first mentality. I didn't even enter this with the mind of a marketer, right? So as I'm reverse engineering the strategy right in front of you, I want you to hold on to those core lessons that you should be turning into a formal checklist for your Reddit marketing playbook. So again, it's just me answering questions, like throwing in examples of how to do SaaS content, and people are just appreciating what I'm doing. Even here, right? Look how I subtly mentioned my Twitter, right? I didn't even link the ad or anything, right? But I led with like a natural authenticity, and it just did not come across self-promotion, and that's because it wasn't self-promotion, right? So this was just me listing all the things we do in the agency to get backlinks, and I just said it was copy-pasted from my Twitter, and then naturally someone asked, what's your Twitter, right? And then I said, I just listed it. I didn't even link it. That's how little I care. Like, that's my point, guys, right? It just, the entire dialogue just exudes, I'm not here to sell you anything. If you want, you can check me out. If not, completely fine. Right? So no one can smell the desperation. Redditors are really, really good at smelling desperation. It's like the culture on the platform. So one of the best ways to just win at the game is just like simply don't be desperate, right? There you go. Like people are just following me. I probably gained like 300-400 followers just from this thread, and I still get a couple leads from this this thread. People just book with me because then I ended up editing the post because so many people were asking me for it. So I'm like, even though I said I wouldn't, and then I linked my SEO agency here, and I don't monitor this accounts to throw away. So look at this. So some guy was like, where can I buy your course? Because again, even when you're authentic, this is funny, Redditors will still be skeptical. But look how people are fighting for me. Now I've been reading OP's replies, he's legit. This is just some random stranger. They're fighting for me just because I decided to give everything, not hold shit back. And when you do that, right, and this is a principle you see mentioned through so many careers. Alex Hormozi says this, I can name a dozen others. Just provide value with nothing in return, and then people will come to you, right? That's sort of the mentality I had with this. Every single upvote here is just like, it's just people supporting me, right? And I'm just answering everything. And then someone even asked, how did you start your SEO agency? And I wasn't going to answer this comment. I wasn't going to answer it just because I just felt like that was derailing from what I wanted to do. I didn't really want to talk about me. But then I realized that talking a little bit about me actually helped people take my advice more. And I actually mentioned it here. I think I'll answer this briefly if it makes people more comfortable taking my advice, right? So I was like, it's not always a bad thing to talk about yourself, right? Sometimes people appreciate that, so they know who they're getting their information from. And looking back on it, for an AMA post, I guess something like this makes sense, right? I just didn't want to self-promote. I thought it was a little overkill, but turns out like people appreciated it. And then I also created several, probably 30 looms, just auditing people's website and their keyword strategy. And I did that across the board, right? And these videos have like hundreds of views. I mean, even just this one, if I click on it, 386 views, guys, right? So people are still looking at this stuff and they found it immensely valuable. And so this is Reddit marketing for you. And I wanted to exemplify it with a real life example. That's just one part of it. The thing with the strategy like that is virality isn't promised, right? This just kind of happened by chance. Of course, people found it valuable, and you guys saw the stats. There were over 767 shares. So, obviously people found it valuable. The virality isn't always promised. So there's a second strat on Reddit that is more consistent and predictable, and it's also very, very helpful for your overall brand awareness. And what we found is it's been driving us leads, which is a very convenient side benefit, although that's not our main goal. And that's engagement. So in the example I just shared, it was me creating the thread, but the second strategy is finding relevant threads and then being genuinely helpful and contributing to them, and then promoting your product as a logical solution only if it's relevant. And now there's an agent I want to shine some extra light on because she deserves the special attention, and that's Yappa. Yappa's only job is to engage on Reddit. The core principle that Yappa is trained on and your VA will be trained on is you're not selling here. Reddit is very, very, very strict and intolerant with selling. So you genuinely have to be authentic. You have to add value to the conversation, and only then will people receive anything you sell in a positive manner. But even then, we're not really selling. We're just suggesting it as a logical solution. And that means that sometimes we're not suggesting anything, and that's okay. If you violate the rules of the platform, you're going to get burned really quickly. So the workflow is pretty simple. You shortlist the communities and people, influencers you want to engage with, and then you use a tool like Devi AI, as it's a social listening tool that pings you whenever a conversation on Reddit happens with a certain keyword that you want to track. So in our case, it was SMS marketing. So whenever a thread came up regarding that conversation, we made sure our guy was there to reply. And all he did was go to relevant Reddit threads, simply copy paste the entire thread just like this, paste it into Yappa's chat, which looks very much like ChatGPT's UI, except it's a custom agent that's trained very, very well on how to add value. So paste it just like that. Now it's visiting TextCar's custom knowledge base that we created. It's extracting the Reddit thread and reading it thoroughly and analyzing it. And then it generates 2 to 3 replies for you to choose from. Very, very natural sounding. And the bulk of the message just focuses on value. And then only very subtly do we mention our product if it's necessary. Yappa will also give your insights on which one it thinks it's best based on different scenarios. And then you simply just paste the one you like, you go back to the thread, and you contribute. As you can see, it's a pretty handy tool, pretty handy system. And again, this isn't just theory. This has been working across all of our clients, getting us a lot of visibility and organic conversions just from natural conversations with our ideal customer surfing on the internet. You're getting this for free. This should not be free. You're getting this for free. With agents like this, it's really ridiculous and almost borderline illegal. It feels illegal. It's borderline unacceptable for you to even be complaining about a lack of visibility when such tools make it so easy for you to put yourself out there. And this is different. I want to highlight that this is different from a traditional engagement bot that has no manual overview. Those are the things that people complain about online because they struggle to understand the proper context and they end up repeating what the post is already saying. This is not that. This is a step above. This is more sophisticated. It's trained and it has a manual element to it to ensure quality assurance. If you want something that doesn't risk your reputation but still saves you 90 to 95% of the work with some overview, then simply click the link in the description, get the doc, and then you'll have Yappa's SOP ready for you inside.
You guys are easy to communicate with back and forth. You send over a monthly report with all the key information that I care about. If I have any questions, I can ping the team, Bobby, the designers, whoever it might be, for any issues. Typically not many issues. So yeah, it was pretty easy to get started. Communication's solid. Everything's pretty streamlined. So yeah, it's been good.
Would you say we're a partner you'd recommend to other companies who are looking to increase organic search presence on Google and ChatGPT?
Yeah, 100%. We just did that post on Twitter and LinkedIn about our sort of secret hacks around the AIO, as I coined it. But yeah, you guys have been a great partner, an extension of our team on the SEO front. And for anyone that has a SaaS company or a Shopify app, I've always highly recommended you guys as the go-to agency for it.
So if you want my team to do this for you, then click the link in the description and it's going to lead you to a booking link. It's going to direct you to my calendar, and then you can book a call with me personally and we can talk about how we can set this up for you. We at a minimum do 5 to 6 engagements per week. And that's per client. So our community engagement specialist will find these relevant threads for you, these relevant conversations online for you, and then use Yappa to engage on your behalf. And if you're curious on the call, we'll also go through other strategies that will get you 100% unsponsored visibility on LLMs like ChatGPT and Claude and Perplexity, while also still being a top recommended result on Google, whether that's in the traditional search results or the AI overview. So if you want a team with a proven track record to help you do all that, then again, the link is in the description. Otherwise, the link to Yappa's SOP and agentic template that you can duplicate into your own Relevance AI account. We created the agent on Relevance AI, so you can duplicate it into your own account and then start using it by yourself with the standard operating procedure to guide you through it. See you in the next video.